Hey guys. Look, now that Mr. Spencer and I are all finished explaining what's going to go on during our Lewis and Clark unit, I'm going to tell you about our very first activity. What we're going to be doing is we are going to research some of the different people who were involved in the Lewis and Clark expedition. We're going to be looking up biographical information. Now, I know we talked about biographical information during our last unit on the Native Americans. Does anybody remember what biographical information is? Anybody? Oh, I'm sorry, Herman. I didn't see you. What's biographical information? That's right. Biographical information is background information. It helps us to learn more about a person. And that can be a person who is living right now, or it can be a person who lived a long time ago. Now, as we talked about during our last unit, when we're researching a person who lived a long time ago, we might not know all the biographical information that we would like to know. For example, we might have no idea what their favorite food was, their favorite sports team, even the name of their gerbil. But the good thing is that we usually know a little bit something. And luckily, there's a website that we can use for our project called lewisandclark.org that has a lot of the information that we need to get a better idea about who some of the people involved with the expedition were. Now, before we go any further, I want to see if you guys remember our smart web searching lesson from last week. When I was looking up different websites to use for this activity, do you think I just sat down at my computer, opened Google, typed in Lewis and Clark, and clicked on the first website that came up without checking it, then called it a day? Is that what happened? Who said yes? I'm going to pretend I didn't actually hear that. No, I made sure that the website I chose was reliable. Does anybody remember what reliable means? Yes, Hilda. Very good. Reliable means trustworthy. If a website is reliable, it means we can probably trust the information that we find there. So, when I was looking at the website that we're going to use, lewisandclark.org, I made sure that the information made sense, that the website looked professional, and that the person who wrote the information down, that the organization who was responsible for it, that they knew what they were talking about, that they were experts on Lewis and Clark. Okay, so moving on, we've got our reliable website for searching, and what's going to happen is each person here is going to be assigned a different member of the Lewis and Clark expedition. Then we're going to move on over to the computer area. Now, I think as you guys walked in, you noticed that each computer is already opened to the database section of this website. Each person's going to sit down at a computer, then all you've got to do is find your person's name on the database. Just look down the list and click on the name. Then, all you're going to do is fill in the information on your worksheet. You're going to write down the person's birth date, the day they were born, their death date, the day they died, and one interesting fact. And that interesting fact can be anything that stands out to you, anything you think is interesting in the description. It can be where they were born, or it can be where they went to school, if that's known. Anything that you think will give us a better idea about who that person was. Now, let's pretend that you're doing your web searching and everything is amazing, and then all of a sudden you realize that where it says birth date in the database after your person, There isn't an actual date. There's only a question mark. Does anybody know what that means? Fred, what do you think it means? Very good. It means that they don't know when that person was born. Because these people lived so long ago, some things we just can't be sure of. If that's the case for your person, no big deal, just write unknown in that section where the question mark is. Okay, so once we're all through on our computers with our research, it won't take us very long. Once we're all through, we're going to come right back here to the learning area. And then everybody is going to take a turn presenting their person to the class, sharing the information that they found. Then, when that's all finished, Mr. Svensson is going to lead you in the second half of the lesson with some really fun Lewis and Clark games that will teach you a whole lot. But while he's doing that, everybody is going to take a turn coming up and working with me at my computer. And what you're going to help me do is you're going to help me enter the information that you found about your person into a class live binder. Does anybody know what a live binder is? No? A live binder is an online collection of our work. We can save the information that we find online to a live binder, and that will let us save it for example, for the next 4th grade class to look at and learn from next year. We'll also be able to show it to everybody who comes to the Lewis and Clark Expedition Extravaganza on Friday. So we'll have a lot of fun with that, showing everybody what we learned today. Okay, well, I think we're about ready to get started. Are there any questions? Anybody? No? Man, you'd think I was standing here talking to myself. Okay, well, let's head on over to the computer area, you guys, and get started.